Okay, this might be a little bit half-baked, but I had to hit record because something just clicked for me and it's been living rent-free in my brain ever since. And it's from this book by Morgan Housel called Same as Ever. And in the first page, I don't know if I can find it for you, he dedicates it to the reasonable optimists. And I realized that's me, but not quite. I'm a realistic optimist. And if you've ever been told that you always find the problems in things, this one's for you. I've always been a pretty positive person. People tell me all the time in previous jobs, friends of mine. I believe life works out. I trust time, I trust the process, and I trust that there's a meaning in every season, situation, or thing that I'm going through, even the hard times, even the good times. But I've also never been someone who can ignore the hard stuff, especially when I was working in radio. I am a international, a critically acclaimed radio announcer, and I left that career. And at this particular moment in time, I was stuck in a toxic job and I couldn't leave. It was contract based and I had to stay. I knew at the time that the contract was going to run out and that everything would be fine, but I had to be realistic and compartmentalize my mindset around being in a place where there was workplace harassment going on. I felt a little bit of it. I got a little bit of the brunt of that, but I knew that I wasn't going to be there forever, that things were going to get better. So I decided to make my life, the things that I can control, better. So I did a fitness challenge and I started a podcast and I did lots of things that made me happy outside of work so that when I had to go to work, I could deal with it because I was happy in every other aspect of my life. And this is what being a realistic optimist is to me. Right now it sucks. It'll get better, but while I wait, I'll do what I can so it makes me feel good. Now, most people think optimism means being that like endlessly positive, always looking on the bright side. But the dangers of that is refusing to acknowledge anything dark or heavy, because that's not real life. We need the light and the dark, the duality of the sunshine and the rain. Realistic optimism is about duality, knowing things can be hard, but still believing that they can be beautiful. There's that equal balance of needing to be aware of the negatives so that you can do something about it. Because if you're endlessly positive and there's this delusional belief that it's all going to work out, but then you may not do anything about it. So your life isn't going to change. My version of realistic optimism is you have to be realistic. Yes, your life is going to change. It's all going to work out. There's going to be a good outcome, but I need to do something about it. So with this realism, I have to plan and think, what is my next move? It's more practical when you're a realistic optimist. It's not delusion, it's direction with perspective. So back to Morgan Housel in the chapter Elation and Despair. He says, knowing how to balance optimism and pessimism has always and always will be one of life's most important skills. And that is a skill I am trying to master right now. That's the balance that I'm learning to live in. It's hit me hard right now because I've been a positive person for as long as I can remember. But over time and through my lived experience, I've come to need this realistic perspective. Otherwise, nothing will get done. I'm such a forward thinker. I need to plan my next move, knowing that they will lead to my desired outcome. And it's actually kind of been a tension point in my relationship. My partner is super positive, like everything will work out positive. And sometimes when we're having discussions about our plans or what we want to happen in the future or hypothetical scenarios, when I bring up challenges or things that could go wrong, he can sometimes say, why do you always focus on the problems? But I'm not focusing on the problems. I'm planning around them. I'm saying, if this happens, I want to be ready. Realistic optimism isn't about expecting the worst. It's about being ready for the reality while holding the belief that I'll find a way through it, because you can't be delusional and thinking that everything's always going to work out. There needs to be planning for what if it doesn't work out, and what are the challenges and hurdles that I'm going to face on the way to it working out. It's such a strong belief that I have in myself that I need to be going through this mental rigmarole of planning these things, making sure things get done so that I can continue to get what I want. This landed so deeply for me right now because it's a new concept and it's an underlying thing that I value, that I've come to learn about myself. I'm always a student in the school of life and constantly learning new things about myself, and this is just really hitting hard now because I'm coexisting with another human, I'm co-parenting and living a life and wanting to have the best things I can for myself, my family, and my career, and better myself and my situation in any way that I can, as much as I can. So if you're watching this and thinking, yeah, I'm a realist, but I feel stuck, well, two things for you. The first is my question: do you believe it's going to work out? Like, do you have this unwavering belief that your desire or your desired outcome is going to happen, even if that timeline's unclear? Because that belief is step one. And then comes step two, realistic action. What can I do next to move closer to that outcome? It could be making a to-do list, sending one email, or just taking one tiny step. And if you're someone who clings to positivity, I love you. I love your hope. I really do. But you may be slightly avoiding reality a bit. So let me ask you, does what you want require action? Because manifesting isn't just energy, it's execution. So you want to go to Brazil or an amazing trip to South America. Great. Start thinking though. What does it cost? What's the visa process? How much do I need to save? What do I need to do to make this happen? Being realistic doesn't kill the dream. It builds the bridge to it. And the biggest part of all of this is time. Because the dream, the goal, the desire, it's already yours, but it never shows up when we think it will. So we plan, we trust, we adjust, and then we surrender. That is realistic optimism. It's not naive, it's not negative, it's rooted in trust, but anchored in truth. Anyway, I just had to get that out. Because if you're someone who lives in both hope and reality, well, you are not alone. You are a realistic optimist. And I think that's a really beautiful way to be. And if you're feeling a little bit blocked or stuck on doing that next action, check out this video that I created to help you motivate yourself using AI.